What was the big rumor in your high school? Did turn out to be true. That an English teacher was using heroin. It's pretty sad actually. He was just a regular guy who destroyed his knee. So after surgery he got painkillers, got hooked on them, and then eventually started using heroin. Nobody really believed it until he abruptly went on leave. He was gone for most of the school year, and when he eventually got sober and came back, he told his story to the students to try to show them how dangerous that stuff is, and confirmed everything to be true. That our science teacher was kind of a creep. I always thought he was nice. Years later he was fired and arrested for aggravated child porn. On a ski trip the physical ed teacher allegedly porked the science teacher. Someone saw him go into her room in the middle of the night. They denied it, but years later they got married. That one of the gym teachers, very large lady, broke the diving board every year. I didn't have her class, but from what I understood it was true, except it only happened once. That a teacher was sleeping with students. Turned out to be the AP US history teacher. He was caught, and later fired. The big rumor wasn't about my high school but a school on the east side of town. The rumor was, a bunch of girls were running a prostitution ring out of the school. It turns out it was true. PD went undercover and busted about a dozen girls. Gym teacher banging a student. She was. Biology teacher was having an affair with the principal. My sister's form teacher got a student pregnant. I mean, he did end up leaving, but there's still multiple rumors of him being in prison. That the school was sending teen girls who got pregnant to the alternative school because they were afraid of an outbreak of teen pregnancies. Cliché as fuck for the 90s, but it was true. One of my friends got pregnant at 14 and they sent her off to the alt school. They told her it was the only way they could accommodate her special needs and expected absences, otherwise she'd eventually flunk out. Band teacher had a reputation for being kind of sticky with the hot girls in band. 3 weeks ago I was listening to the radio news like an 80-year-old, and found out he got charged for sexual interference with a minor. Edit. Finished high school 12 years ago. The girl he interfered with was a private piano student of his. That one of the students in our junior year, who reportedly had a serious drug habit, was snorting cocaine. Gym teacher found him in the boys' locker room bathroom snorting a line off the toilet seat. Kid spent his summer break in rehab, came back to graduate a clean senior, then started up the cocaine again. Haven't heard much about him since. Me being gay. Turns out I was bi, myself. That the 60-year-old art teacher was giving private nude drawing art lessons to a few select students. Basically she was posing nude for drawing classes and making sweet love to her favorite introverted art students every year. This went on for a decade that I know of. When she was 63 she married a 21-year-old former student. There were rumors for years about some of the younger male teachers and female students. Some of the teachers ended up leaving never to be spoken of again, others stuck around, but nothing was ever substantiated. Then while my class was on our senior trip, the music teacher got arrested. Then 2 more teachers the following year. Then several years went by and the school abruptly announced it was shutting down for financial reasons 2 weeks before the end of the school year. The week after it closed for good, another teacher got arrested. So yeah, I'd say the rumors turned out to be true. The softball coach in his 40s was dating one of his players. It turned out to be a sophomore, so she was 15/16 at the time. He left his wife and kids for her, but she soon realized he was a creep and ended things. His punishment was a 1-year suspension from coaching, but kept his teaching job somehow. That a girl put peanut butter on her vagina and got her dog to clean it up. I overheard her talking to a guy in my class one day when everyone was gone. He randomly started to tease her and say "Pe1 nut butt air." To which she responded, "Oh my God, why is everyone talking about something I did in year 7? I 0. That our American government teacher fucked high schoolers. Went to prison last year at 65. When I was in junior high, there was a rumor that there was a swimming pool on the roof. That I was hacking into the computer systems. Because of this, my only failing grade my senior year was ironically the computer courses. To be clear, I was failed. I did not fail. I got perfect scores on everything in that class. I was a student tech at my school, so I had admin access to everything. This is why she thought I was hacking. The teacher simply marked my grades as zeros for that class. I got a 0 in that class. So the day after school technically ended, I logged into the system under admin login, and changed my grades back to what they were. I had all of the papers still showing I got perfect scores in case there was a fight. There never was. That the textiles teacher was an ex-spy. I guess we'd be dead if we knew the answer to that. There were always rumors of sexually inappropriate behavior by the priest who was the principal at my Catholic high school. Lo and behold, I later found his name listed in the Los Angeles Diocese Directory of Predator Priests. He had abused several women who came to him for relationship counseling. That our star football player essayed multiple girls in our school. He moved schools right after the allegations. Texas public school before the reform. Schools were financed and run by the tax revenue of the neighborhood. You can imagine how that worked out. Rumor was they were dumping teachers that were going to be fired from a higher income schools into our lower income school. Turned out not only were they, but some of the teachers were being fired for things like giving drugs to students, sleeping with students, and being drunk during class. The guy who taught chemistry was a notorious pedo, and they were just like, give him to the poor kids, they don't matter. That the kind and popular teacher secretly making students get bullied. He's very popular. Young, good-looking, and very kind. Guys look up to him and girls have crush on him. BC of the students will practically despise students that get special treatment. But turns out, that is his way to get rid of bad students. He intentionally showing his interest to that particular student. Such as saying in front of everyone that if they needs help he'll be there, or asking the students to have lunch with him, and so on. Being teenagers, the jealousy, ESP girls, gotten bad, and the special students will always ends up being bullied or cast away. One of the bullied student realized it, see the pattern, gather some proofs, and exposed him to the school and post it online. It was pretty big. That I was gay, I had no clue at the time, but as it turns out, they were right. The janitor ran a celebrity nudity site. www.rogercelebs.com. Don't know if it is still there. Haven't looked since high school.